All right, just want to get started with video 4 here. Video 4, we're going to show you how to add pages to your website and organize those pages, and we'll show you 2 ways to do that. And then video 5, the final video, the last chapter, will be adding content to your pages. So let's get started with adding pages. Adding pages is fairly simple. There's a plus mark up here that lets you create a page. Okay, when you create the page, you're simply going to give it a name. That'll be part of its address. So in this case, I'm going to do a page for my subjects or my classes. I'm approaching this as more as an elementary page. So subjects. Okay, here's an important thing. When you're using this BOCES template, it wants to create it as a start page to start, and you want to switch it to a web page. Start pages allow the students to put little gadgets on the bottom that only they see, and we don't really want to provide that option to them. So we're going to make web page here. Now we have choices. We have the home page already. Do we want this page to be subordinate to the home page or at the same level? So in this case, I'm going to choose at the same level. So I click Create. It's going to create that page and take me right to it where I'll be able to actually edit and put content right in here right now. Okay, you can see I can edit content. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just click Save because I'm going to show you how to create a bunch of pages at once. Okay, you could at that point do that. Now here's one problem before I go on to create the next page. You see this add files and comments down here at the bottom? This will appear on every new page you add other than the home page. To get rid of it, you're going to click the gear. You're going to come down here to page settings and you're going to uncheck these 3 boxes right here. Okay? And then click save. And then those won't appear. The add files and the comments only appear for editors of the page anyway, so your students and parents shouldn't be able to get to them. But a lot of people just don't like seeing them there, so they get rid of them right away. All right, so now I've got my subjects page. You can see it's automatically been added over here to my navigation subpanel. So now I'm going to click Add Page and go through this process again, only this is going to be my science page. Okay, and then I'm going to say put under subjects. I want science there. Click Create. And I'm not going to remove the comments and stuff at the bottoms of it. And see, you can see it's a gadget because I mistakenly didn't choose to make that a web page. Okay, so that's why it's got that gadgets thing on there. So I'm going to come back to here and say make it a web page. All right, and to get back to there, I simply click on the page settings thing and then choose down here that I don't want it to be a start page. That's a web page in case you want to do it. And then I can unclick these 3 boxes. So there's my science page. You can now see that science is subordinate to subjects. When I close the subjects menu, I no longer see the science menu, etc. So let me just do that one more time for you. So I'm going to add a math page this time. And I'm going to make it a web page ahead of time. And I'm going to say put under. Now notice when I say put under, it says science because it uses whatever the last page you created was. So in this case, I'm going to say choose a different location. And then I'm going to choose my subjects page. And now you'll notice this is put page under subjects. So when I click create, I will now have that page as a subpage of science. Okay, I'm going to create one more because I want to show you what happens when you make a mistake. So say I create this page and I call this one social studies. And I say make it a web page, but I forget to put it under a page down here, or I put it under the wrong page. So how do I move a page once it's already been created and improperly put in my navigation panel here? Fairly easy, actually. And you've already kind of got a hint in an earlier lesson as to how to do it. So when I click on this and I come down here to Manage Sites, there was that Pages menu I told you we'd talk about later. Well, now's the time. So I'm going to click on Pages here, and now I can open my Subjects menu and see all of my subpages, and I can see Social Studies is in the wrong place. To move this, I simply click and hold down on it, drag it down here to where I want it to go, which is Subjects. It will then put it in as a subfolder underneath that. So Google does a lot in automatically organizing things for you. Then I can click here to go back to my site, and I can see my navigation panel is correct. There are 2 issues with the navigation panel you need to be aware of. Number 1 is that it puts everything in alphabetical order. So if I put in a classroom procedures folder, it's going to go in front of my subjects folder. Okay, it's going to organize my subjects in my subjects folder in alphabetical order. When it does the automatic organization, it's always going to be alphabetical. If you don't like that, there is a way to fix it, but it involves a lot more work for you. The way to do it is to go into your edit site layout click in this navigation panel, and instead of automatically organizing them, you can manually add the pages and then use the arrows to arrange them up or down and then indent or unindent them to do your order. The only problem with that was when you uncheck this automatic, everything that you had in your navigation panel disappears and you got to build from scratch. And then every time you add a new page, you have to come in here and manually add it. It won't automatically appear in your menu. So for most people, automatically works good, and they just go with that. But if you're really particular about the order things are going to be over here, you are going to have to manually do it. That's another reason why I'm not going to show you how to add more tabs to the horizontal navigation bar, because that always has to be done manually. You can't have it automatically organize that. So that's adding and organizing pages to your website. We now have 5 or 6 pages here. We can very easily, when we were on our home page and we want to edit our math page, we just click in the same menu people would click to change pages. Notice it changes to our math page up here. So in terms of editing each of these pages and putting content on them, the way you switch between these pages is the same way people using your website will switch. You come down here to your navigation menu, you click on the page you want to edit, and it brings it up here. So next, lesson 5, last one, we're going to talk about how we put content over here in our content pane.